Thank you. What do you have here? Piece of bread? No. Yes, no. Thank you, sir. Also, I'd like to introduce to you your onboard guide, Katya, or Kate. She will be with you as well. As regards me, my first half is with you, the second half is with the other.
About that before we leave. Well, I think that's the thing for them that to tell us because they were building and was taken over by the school never was built for the school and was taken over by the communists in 1970. After they took the power, they formed the first Soviet government for 12 years. At the end of that guy was the Sergei Anatoly Putin. Look how he was and was not part of the KGB. He was Putin was elected anyway, but right now, under the city assistant, that's why none of them was potential. Not the pedestal.
Peter the
The
Great.
shape of a sea. It's actually the natural shape of a rock. That's the way they found it. The army of a mammoth that was under restoration. It housed Naval Museum in the Soviet plants. Now the museum.
Peter Paul.
It's only for the clergy. We're not allowed to go there. Only once on the wedding day, the priest takes the newlywed on the other side and leads them 3 times around the altar. In every Russian church, there'll be an icon stand. A normal icon stand, 5 or 7 rows of icons. They'll tell you the story when you see proper one. I'm sure. This is totally regular. Totally regular, but it's a real work of art. Because this arch and draperies are hanging from it with tassels. This is wood. This is wood. And the same as the pulpit. Now, there are no pulpits in Russian churches. Russians have no idea what they're for. No, if they ever notice it, they would ask what it is, but they usually would not even notice it. The figures of St. Peter and Paul decorating it. And the congregation during the services is in the main body of the church. No pews. Don't fall, we resist.
Russian ship used for the revolution.
Away from you because you should touch it to the display. Right? If you're gonna twist it around, up like our coats, right? And then out of it. Right? Because it's only one entry ticket for all of us. For
She bought the collection at a bulk, about 200 paintings, and that was the beginning of the Royal Collection. For a very short time, because 1994. So we stopped government secret. They immediately moved out of the Winter Palace, and somewhere in the winter, they lived in the palace right next to Catherine's palace. Hitler went to celebrate summer solstice, but then, Hitler was crazy with all this mystic stuff. Both times, the enemy attacks, the army resists, and the army just goes back and break in front of you.
This is the great throne room.
Electricity would come in the 1870s. Just two paintings out of a collection. Twin portrait by Rembrandt, the most valuable thing in this book. The family of Ukraine is banished to one of his estates in December 1916
Going to the ballet and the folk show, for those it's not necessary, but for the river cruise it's necessary.
The center of all the research until today. Until today, all the data from everywhere comes into Pulkovo. The Miss Alexander's palace. The story of how the palaces were damaged after in the 1820s.
Яблони груши поплыли, туманы над рекой.
mirrors or windows, reflecting the light, reflecting the reflection, creating illusion of space. Look at the ceiling. Always some painting with three-dimensional quality, like creating illusion of a high space. And traditional design for the architect, he was on photograph, watercolors that show you how what matters, size, shape, colors, it should look good together. Never mind which country it comes from, what time. Because Russian sense of humor stops short when it comes to cold. Absolutely, absolutely. It might be the kind of
Metrova. Javi se bar, možda potrčiš i da...
No?
in the Middle Ages, together with building roads, I know Vikings. So far in the countryside,
Take care of us.
Don't want to be with us, if you want to be on your own, 1:30 back to where the bus is. Now it doesn't take a picture now because it's behind the scaffolding, but you might catch a picture, right? Not everyone from the middle, you'll quickly catch a beautiful view on the upper garden of Peterhof.
Peterhof.
the reason why the Peter and Paul fortress never fired a shot. Peter the Great, when he got this island from Sweden, he could immediately see that it has a great position. It totally controls all the...
This is an aviary. Roman fountains.
我累了。我说我也没玩下，你说一直玩了一两个。
Ой, крылышко, крылышке, ты широком поле, при знакомом табуне конь гуляла на воле. При знакомом табуне конь гуляла на воле. Ты гуляй, гуляй, мой конь, пока не споймаю, как споймаю, заузнаю, пробиваю зною, как споймаю, заузнаю, пробиваю зною. Вот споймал парень коня, заузнал узною, ударишь горы под бока, конь летит стрелою. Ударишь горы под бока, конь летит стрелою. Ты лети, лети, мой конь, да не спотыкнися, возле Милки со двора, да не остановися. Возле Милки со двора, да не остановися. Конь остановился,
which is called Onyega Lake. And we shall turn a little bit up to north, and tomorrow morning we shall arrive in Kiji. Kiji is an island. That is the northernmost point of our journey. And as we arrive there in the morning, there can be a little bit cold. So in advance, I'd like to call your attention. A little bit warmer dresses will
Ансамбль «Фольклорик Калинка». Добрый вечер, дамы и господа. Мы рады приветствовать вас на нашем первом фольклорном концерте нашего фольклорного ансамбля «Калинка».
The instrumental composition about the Volga.
Носила песню за собой, уносила песню за собой. Калина спалось, ой, да на свет привиделась. Мне малым спалось, под сосною, под зеленою спать положите вы. Ай, люли, люли, спать положите вы меня. Расцветали яблони и груши, поплыли туманной рекой. Выходила на берег Катюша, на высокий, на берег крутой. Выходила на берег Катюша, на высокий, на берег крутой. Выходила, песню заводила, про степного заварла, про того, которого любила, про того, чьи письма берегла, про того, которого любила, про того,
Don't go into the grass.
The physical goals and the children's configuration right now in front of us. But when the church is dry, it is silver or golden. And when the sun goes down, the cupolas are rosy and red. So the church is changing together with nature like the part of this nature. For these amazing qualities, the church was enlisted into the World Heritage List in 1999. It was the third monument from Russian side which passed to the list after the Red Square in Moscow and the Central St. Petersburg. The Church of the Transfiguration is the third. It was built in 1714. The Church of the Intercession was built 50 years later as a winter church. And the churches like this were quite popular in Russian North. They were called ship-like churches because they reminded the silhouette of the sailing ship. And according to the rules, ship-like churches were crowned with a 10-top roof like that on the bell tower. And the carpenters began to make this type of roof. But one should say that local carpenters had keen sense for beauty and harmony, And they broke this rule and made a crown of 9 cupolas to match the second church and got a wonderful ensemble combination of 2 churches. Each detail in Russian wooden architecture has its function, and you see this collar which decorates the church, but at the same time it's the way of water protection. We see protruding wooden rings which take the water away from the church. Actually, these shingles are also the way of water protection. The aspen has a very silk surface and not a single drop will be inside. But if it will happen, there is an inner roof made of birch bark which protects the ceiling of the roof, consisting of icons also. So they thought over this water protection very thoroughly because we have a lot of rain here. It was an individual work, and for 60 nails they gave a cow. Nobody wanted to give a cow for nails, so they invented a lot of nailless details. But when we see many nails, we may date the construction by the 19th century when they started to produce nails on the factories. Nails became cheap, they came to the village, and people started to use them with great pleasure. The church architecture, and from the middle of the 19th century, all churches were designed by professional engineers who studied in towns, and they loved stone architecture. And in the end of the 19th century, both churches were bordered, painted white. They put metal on the cupolas, painted blue, and they painted the interiors. And in the interior of this church, you will see the marks of plaster on the walls because it was plastered inside. They took stones from the church. And in such an ugly view, these churches were standing up to 1949. 1949, after wartime, when our country was ruined, but the government found money for 10 years restoration of this church. Of course, it's an old graveyard, but in fact we have 2 graveyards on this island. One is functioning. It is in the middle of the island because people still live here. We have 2 villages on the island of Kije where people live the whole year round, in winter and in summer. If you will go that way, you will find these villages. One is big, 10 houses. The second is smaller, 5 houses. The Church of the Intercession is a winter church built in 1764. In winter, as I have already mentioned, it is very cold here, so they made their structures very warm. You see that the floors are lifted very high over the ground because the ground freezes in winter. They put moss between the logs to make the walls very warm. And the name of this moss is Kiji, and it is growing on this island. Very beautiful icons. It's the story of Christ's life, the main events, like he was born, he was baptized. He came to Jerusalem for the first time, and people saw him for the first time, and we know that he came on an ass, but northern people have never seen this ass, so the painter depicts like he imagines, very thin horse with very long legs. Or we know that people were greeting Christ with palm leaves, but palm doesn't grow here, and so they depict the local tree, and boys are breaking branches to greet Christ. We can see a lot of very interesting details on these northern icons. Then comes this, and in 1999 the church was blessed again. It is a functioning church, and we have a wonderful small choir which will sing for us now. And
Bogorodice,
Thank you very much.
Спасибо. Thank you for attention, dear guests. If you
And you paid attention that even in the church, people have small windows for the same reason. Take seats for the family of 22 people. And such houses still exist in this region. In the village where I live, on the big Kremenetsk Island, we have 5 houses at the age of 100 years old and 150 years old. And this stove gave warmth, food and light. People slept on the stove. It is the warmest place for children and grannies. All the rest members of the family slept on the floor on the mattresses filled with hay, and in the morning they collected these mattresses and piled into the passage. And you will be invited obligatory because local people love guests. Their life was so isolated. In summer they lived on the islands. Who will come to the island? In winter, snow and ice around. Who will come? But if somebody came, it was like a present of God. It is hard to move because it is heavy, but you can put the child here and give the toys. Well, so I would like to show what Alexei is making. What is that?
Nail.
Shingles. Yeah. He's making shingles, which are covering one tier, the second, then they turn the shingles like that. Do you remember the material?
Aspen.
Aspen. Golden material, very beautiful. Shingles are made only with the help of an axe. No other way to make shingles. All men who live in this region, they are busy with making shingles. Why? 30,000 shingles on the Church of the Transfiguration, 20,000 on the second church, and a lot of chapels around. Shingles are being changed every 40 years. They should be ready, a lot of them. In the 19th century, every family gave about 1,000 shingles to the church. You see that shingles are made only with the help of an axe because it was closed, and the shingles is a wonderful water protection. Now it is raining, but the cupola will be dry inside.
60 per cow.
Never. 60 per cow. Yes. Well, you can buy something as a souvenir here. And now I invite you to No older, not allowed to baptize, not allowed to.
It was mostly dramatical and emotional, chamber music, and over 100 songs taken from famous works of Russian poets. And each poetic epigraph corresponds to one of the months, 12 months, and shows the atmosphere which is rendered by each poetical piece.
Alright, gather round, mateys. I've got a tale to tell. As I was
the granddaughter of the grandmother, the granddaughter, then dog, our dog, our cat, and the mouse. Yes. So the first is the Tony says, "Hello, I'm Tony." In Russian, it's "Привет, я репка." Now, hello, I'm grandfather. Привет, я дед.
Привет, я дед.
Дед.
Yo, Jet. Привет, я дед.
Yes. Я мышка. Нарушка. Привет, я мышка. Нарушка. Привет, я мышка. Я мышка. Нарушка. Yeah.
Бабушка.
And the grandmother came. So she took hold of the grandfather. Grandfather took hold of the Tony. And they put раз, два, три. Nothing again. So the grandmother asked the help of her granddaughter. Внучка. Yes. And now, together they put to get the Tony. So they pulled it and раз, два, три. But nothing again. So they needed the help of their little dog Zhuchka. So they took hold of each other, took hold of this enormous Tony, and they pulled and pulled again. Раз, два, три, and no result. And now they decided to call for Murka. Mishka Narushka. And now together, Mishka Narushka. And the strong mouse came, took hold of Murka, Murka took hold of Zhuchka, Zhuchka of granddaughter, granddaughter of grandmother, grandmother of grandfather, and he of the toy, and Раз, Два, Три, and yes! So now our actors just
Yeah, straight ahead there is the Kirillo-Belozersky Monastery. That's where we're going.
One of them writes the names of those who enter this monastery. And if you go through the holy gates, one of your sins will be forgiven. Let's go through the holy gates. On the cathedral square, and in the center, in front of us, you can see the principal church of this monastery. This church with big green dome. It is the Assumption Church. It was built at the end of the 15th century, and it was constructed by 20 masters during 5 months in summertime. Now it is a museum, but the unique icons of the 15th century from the Assumption Church you will see later in other museums.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
You guys start cooking because I say I'm not eating that. And since they start cooking, so yeah, you're picky, you have to do yourself. That's the way. There you go. There she is.
Here they are.
Take the camera.
Виновата ли я, что люблю? Виновата ли я, что мой голос дрожновато кругом? Еще хочешь себя оправдать? Так зачем вот ту лунную ночь позволяла себя целовать?
And people die by falling overboard.
One could see downwards and forwards for indications of this.
It's a permit. The governor's house mansion.
So, have a look. Here is the portrait of Peter the First. So, can't have a doubt. This one.
No.
Don't talk to me when we overheard. This one. We're being watched. This means these flowers, it means I love you. But a red rose, always a great choice. We'll never be mistake to pronounce for our tourists. It's do you know the pronunciation? It's Ottersen. So quite hard. And let it go. It brings lots of good money. You get something for it as little surprises.
Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue à Laval. Et la première danse, c'est une polonaise.
amazing. Well, can't do that was lucky.
Вы уже можете отправляться. Хорошо?
The 15th century was, by the way, Russian language. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, that pale green building is our city hall, the authorities of the town sit over there. On your way back, you can cross the square, and I would like to draw your attention to this pink building with arches. If you turn around the right corner at the right side, actually we have a small production of bridges now, but it's
Who's this?
I think she's here to take for us.
Ну, Аня, вот
Okay? We won't get lost. We know where the boat, where the ship.
But at the same time, it's a natural monopoly, we don't have a choice. And you know, they spent other Soviet republics, they were provided with those gas pipelines, but as for Central Russia, they didn't do it here. And of course it's
нами, а вдали мелькали огоньки. Эх, когда вы мне рисовали, душу бы развеять от тоски, дорогой длинною, да ножкой лунною, да свет зеленой, что вдали меня, да старинную, эх, да сизонную, что по ночам отмучила меня. Дорогой длинною, да ножкой лунною, да свет зеленой, что вдали меня. Что по ночам так мучила меня,
The Church of the City of the Sports Club is dedicated to the last.